Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. Today is Wednesday. It is February the 16th. It's National Almond Day. I'm a fan.
I am a fan as
We
well.
have a friend that's allergic to almonds. I was so sad to hear that. And then she was at our house and Heidi fed her almonds. Remember that?
I did not.
Okay, you had a candy bar that had almonds and she ate it.
Grabbed a candy bar
Yeah.
that had been prepared around almonds.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. Also, today's National Do a Grouch a Favor Day. So what would you like me to...
Wow.
I'm just teasing. You know who's the grouch in this room? Me.
That is you,
It-
yes.
Lately, I've been kind of grouchy.
You've been
I don't know
more
why.
than
Just a
kinda
little bit
grouchy.
owly. And National Pancake Day. And people at IHOP celebrate that every year. And this is really fun. My guest today, Russell Howard, is a very famous British comedian, and he's got a brand new documentary coming out, but he also has a brand new comedy special coming out. Now, the comedy special is on Netflix, and the documentary is about the comedy special, and it's also on Netflix. It's the first time ever they've done that simultaneously. Excited to visit with Russell Howard. We'll chat all about that in a bit.
At BetterCreditCards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at BetterCreditCards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Very bizarre findings here. A study found that running more than 30 miles a week can lead to heart disease.
Well, that's crazy.
So they're saying if you're going to run, don't run more than 30 miles a week. I think. Another study, alcohol produces the neurological and molecular changes of a rapid antidepressant, research finds. A drink lifts depression for up to 24 hours due to its effect on the brain's chemistry. So
I thought alcohol was a depressant.
That's what I thought too. So they're saying, oh no, it'll make you feel better for 24 hours. I think a lot of it depends on how much you have
That
to
could
drink.
be, yeah.
And people labeled stubborn, defiant rule breakers as children grow up to earn a higher income, according to a study. Researchers were surprised to find that a more rebellious childhood nature was associated with a higher adult income. And finally, according to new findings, cats can display psychopathic traits. Cat shows psychopathic by displaying meanness, boldness, pet unfriendliness, and human unfriendliness. I've got the story if you want to read it. It's not me saying it, so don't get mad at me. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Time now for Did You Know? Brought to you by GMDVacations.com. Heidi, did you know algorithm did not originate as a computer term? The word is almost exclusively Silicon Valley lingo nowadays, but algorithm actually dates back to the 9th century. Persian mathematician Muhammad ibn Musa al-Kazimi, I probably said none of that right.
I went to high school with him.
No, you didn't. The 9th century. Coined this on a treatise of mathematical equations as a term to describe the process for solving a specific problem. This grew to broadly describe a set of rules to follow in making calculations. So, very interesting stuff. The same guy also credited with helping invent algebra, the word growing from the title of the same treatise. So, there you go. I think that's interesting stuff.
It's extremely
algorithm,
interesting.
Heidi. Algorithm. It's
Algorithm.
not a new word. It's an old word. Now you know. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. John Mulaney will return to Saturday Night Live to host the show on February the 26th. This, by the way, will mark his 5th time hosting SNL, which will make him part of the official member of the series of prestigious Five Timers Club. Very select group of people who've hosted at least 5 times, some of them more. That group includes faces like Tina Fey, Alec Baldwin, Tom Hanks, Steve Martin, Scarlett Johansson. Paul Rudd, by the way, is the latest member to join that club. He hosted for the 5th time in December. Speaking of SNL, Pete Davidson's in the news. Aside from being a comedian and a Scorpio and a co-owner of Staten Island Ferry, he's known for being loved by famous women, from Ariana Grande to his current girlfriend, Kim Kardashian. And now Davidson has shared his theory on why so many famous beauties are in love with him. He said he shares similar qualities to the discount DVD bin.
I would agree with.
You might find a movie like Tropic Thunder in there. He said, it's a diamond in the trash. It's a steal, just like me. I don't know what that means, but I think it's funny. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Why do men hardly ever change their bed sheets? Well, it has to do with biology, according to this story. Men have a weaker sense of smell, and their skin is not as sensitive as women's, so guys are not likely to notice that their sheets don't smell great. So they're saying that that's what it is. Or they're lazy. That's my guess. All right, you want to know the quickest way to get a parking spot, Heidi?
Sure.
When you go to a store and you're looking for a parking spot, what is your go-to move? Do you have a move? You just pull in until you find one, or do you
find a spot?
Do you circle the lot looking for one? Or
I will go usually. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going around and around, so no.
Because they say don't circle until you land the best spot in a lot. You are wasting time.
Yeah.
According to the latest research, the fastest way to find a parking spot is to simply pick a row and take the first available space, even if it's far away from the door. They say it'll take maybe an extra couple of seconds, but if you circle and circle and circle, it's going to take a lot longer.
Yep.
So, interesting stuff.
Agreed.
And Wallet Hub is in the news again. They have all kinds of little studies they put out, and they do research on things. I don't quite understand what Wallet Hub does, but they say you are likely to have a better time driving in the state of Iowa than you are in the state of Hawaii.
Okay.
They rank the states on
what?
how well they provide, quote, positive driving experiences. What constitute a positive driving experience? The site factored in everything from traffic congestion to road quality to cost of maintaining the vehicle. When all was said and done, Iowa came out as number 1. Hawaii was dead last. If you're wondering more about that and want to see where every state ranks, good luck. I've got a link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Russell Howard. He's a very funny comedian based in England, and he's got a really cool thing going on right now. He's got a comedy special that's just been released on Netflix, and in addition to that, they did a documentary about the making of the comedy special. It's the first time in history that they've done that, where they've done the two things and released them together, and we've got Russell Howard on the line with us now from London. Russell, how are you?
I'm in London, and I'm not sure if you're getting the news over there, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty incredible time to be a comedian.
I'll bet it is. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on all over the world. And this is kind of a bizarre time to be a comic, because it's like, okay, do I mention the dumpster fire or do I not mention the dumpster fire?
You mention the dumpster fire and you dance around the dumpster fire and you use the madness of the dumpster fire to connect us and realise that we've all been through the same thing, and there's much to be sad about and there's much to be laugh about. It's kind of, that's one of the extraordinary things that happen to all of us and affected us all in some way. So oddly, in a world of huge division, that is definitely something we have in common.
Well, Russell, right now, I think comedians are needed now more than ever during a time when, there's all kinds of turmoil and things. You could very easily look at the negative things in the world. Isn't it better to, if you do look at them, find a way to smile? So I think comedians are super important. You guys make everybody laugh.
It just feels like we should just be airdropped into tense moments. You know what I mean? It's like just sending the clowns. But, yeah, I can't speak for kind of the States, but certainly in the UK at the minute, the gigs are just incredible, and audiences are so kind of desperate to laugh and just desperate for fun. There's been 2 years of kind of hibernation and solitude, and there's something about being in an audience again and laughing and being lost together. It's just the best. So as a comedian to perform, it's just wild because the atmosphere is just electric, and I bet you it's the same in the States because American audiences tend to be fantastic as it is, whereas British crowds quite grumpy traditionally, if England's alive, then God knows what America's going to be like.
So we got to talk about your comedy special on Netflix. It just recently came out. And then also at the same time, a documentary about the making of the comedy special came out as well. Let's talk about that.
That's right, yeah. So it was going to be like a window into like 20 years of doing stand-up and following me around kind of arenas in the UK and Europe. And then we were going to go to like small gigs in America and like India and China. That's what it was going to be. And then, COVID came along and it became a documentary about trying to make the special and trying to keep shows happening. And we were doing gigs outside in like car parks and lay-bys. We did a week of gigs in a 25,000 football stadium just to keep it going. So oddly, it's a documentary about my obsession with stand-up and performing, really. So, it's gone great. People have enjoyed the special and enjoyed the doc. So, I can't complain, really.
We're going to throw a link to make it easy for people to find the special and to find that documentary as well. And if people would like to follow you on social media, you're a funny dude. How do they find you on social media?
So, it's Russell Howard on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, and Facebook. And you'll kind of find my smiling face.
Well, I'll throw a link to that and a link to some of your comedy as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing the new Netflix special and the documentary. It's the first time that's ever happened. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think hopefully it'll be a thing that will catch on because, who doesn't want to see Bill Burr's special and then find out how Bill Burr made it? I certainly would. So
I think so, too.
With a little luck, I'll have started a trend, really.
That would be really cool. Russell, thank you for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Again, our guest today for this comedy call is very funny comedian Russell Howard, talking to him in London right now. And he's got a new Netflix special that's out right now. You can watch just a comedy special if you want to watch something to make you smile and laugh. And then he also has this really cool thing, a documentary about the making of that comedy special. And it's the first time in history that those two things have come out together. I think that's a neat idea. I've got a link to all of the information about that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Scientists say the Earth's moon is destined to disintegrate in roughly 5 billion years. Well,
don't waste our time with
Who's going to stick around to see if they're right on that deal? All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
About 44% of American adults try a diet every year. I'm one of those people, by the way.
Yes.
Did we just read this, or am I reading? I don't know. For some reason, it sounds familiar to me.
We talked about it with Charlie.
Did we? Okay. Oh, yeah. And fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Wealthy ancient Egyptians would like to sleep with neck supports instead of pillows to preserve their hairstyles. So they wouldn't put pillows; they would actually have neck supports. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The use of capital letters to denote shouting dates back to the 19th century. So
You do that.
back when they
All the time.
when they would text people back in the night. Oh, they didn't? Okay. Couple of fun facts, several of them for you. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline England. A group of British men broke a Guinness World Record by playing a board game for more than 85 hours. Leah Poole, Dale Poole, Adam Bircher, and Luke DeWitt Vine, members of the Herefordshire Board Gamers Group, played 79 rounds of the board game Dune, based on the Frank Herbert novel, as the 2021 film of the same name. A total of 85 hours they did all this stuff. Previous record, by the way, was 80 hours, set by four men in the Netherlands in 2017. Their efforts raised money for Alzheimer's UK and mental health charity in Herefordshire called Herefordshire Mind. So that's really cool that they raised money for them.
Yeah, that's cool.
So anybody
for a good cause.
want to waste 86 hours, get in touch with me. We'll see if we can... 85 hours with it. How long? That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
It's like almost finishing one game of Monopoly. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. I am not going to read this entire story. This was shared to me. Thank you for sharing this, by the way. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to kind of skim it, and then I've got a link so you can read the whole thing if you want to. But it's our weird news. Brawl breaks out at Golden Corral over alleged steak shortage. So more than 40 people were involved in this brawl at a Golden Corral in Pennsylvania.
I did hear about this.
Yeah, I was telling you about this because when they sent it to me, I was like, oh, wow, we definitely got to talk about this. But I'm looking through here. There's a video if you want to see the details. There's 40 people that were involved. An argument had mainly customers, but it looked like maybe a couple of employees got pulled into the scuffle as well. 2 different parties waiting in line for a steak. Somebody was being really picky over the steak, and it was taking too long. Somebody ended up speaking up. One person did this, another person did that. And then there was fisticuffs. Next thing you know, chairs flying, plates flying, tables flying. Tempers got out of control. Everybody needs to calm down.
Here lately, it is all food related. It's insane.
I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Here are some rules that Jeopardy contestants have to follow. First, they have to take an online test. Next, they have to answer all the questions as questions.
Yeah.
Next, they have to film 5 episodes in a day, so if they actually get on. So they have to bring extra clothing, 3 different outfits, because if they get on there, they got to swap them out. They even have
makes sense.
No patterns, olive-colored tops, no, all white's not going to work, so there's all these different things. Next, the buzzer. Don't hit it before the host finishes giving the clue. If you do, you're out, you're gone, you're done.
Oh, boy.
Next, no mascara. Next, spelling counts. If you spell it wrong, you're out of here.
No mascara. I wonder why.
I don't know. No mascara. I think when they get there, they actually put something on there. And then it says you are taxed on your winnings. So you have to pay. So all of those things. Popular Mechanics put out that list. It is The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDVacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDVacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDVacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from a guy by the name of Clark Griswold, played by Chevy Chase. This is from the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation documentary. Okay, it's not a documentary. It is a great movie. A friend of ours had never seen it. He was like 63 years old when we finally took him to see that movie a couple years ago. Here is the line. If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised. That is when Clark is talking to Cousin Eddie.
Yep, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
Yeah, it's like, because he wasn't expecting him to come visit. I love that movie, by the way. And even though it's a Christmas movie, you can watch it any time of the year, Heidi.
Yes, you can.
You sure can. All right. That is your quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. By the way, if you'd like to submit a quote like this one was submitted, you can do that at the bottom of the page at JohnandHeidiShow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to JohnandHeidiShow.com. Again, JohnandHeidiShow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GMDVacations.com. And this is a very, very adorable story, but it's one of those things where you almost need to see the video for like the best impact.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is, though. Here's the headline. Precious little girl covers dog's ears from loud fireworks.
Oh,
so this is an adorable... Oh, yeah. It's an adorable story, too. And I've got the video here. I'm going to click play on the video. Everybody watch this. Look at your speakers. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But the video is a little girl. I would guess her to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 or 3 years old. And there's somebody shooting fireworks off not too far from where she happens to be. And there's a little dog that you can tell the dog is scared. And she goes over and she puts her hands over the dog's ears and covers them up. And you can tell that the dog actually appreciated that a lot. Because dogs can't necessarily put their hands over their ears, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cute.
We had a dog that used to be absolutely terrified.
Yeah, every year, you know, when people would be shooting off fireworks for celebrations.
And putting our hands over her ears did not help.
No, it did not. And there was even somebody that said, oh, hey, you can get medication for that. We tried that. That didn't work either.
Didn't work either.
No matter what we did. And I ended up, what I would do is I would put her in a room, like in a lower level where there were no windows, like almost like a storm shelter type thing. And I'd turn the music up really loud. But even then, she was like, why are you freaking me out with the music?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wish there was a better way. But anyway, precious little girl covers dog's ears from loud fireworks. If you want to see the video, you can find that in the show notes for today at JohnandHeidiShow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.